edition of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Florida.
The Marlins can't seem to win on the road, and it's frustrating. The Fish are just 3-15 away from home. And if they're not in Miami, these Fish flounder. Tonight they turn to a Gator, Anthony DeSclafani. He makes his Major League debut in Tinseltown on Late Night with the Fish. It is hot, hot, hot in Los Angeles, and the Marlins are not. A one-run loss in Game 1, overwhelmed by the Dodgers last night. A 500 team now. The Marlins take on the Dodgers. Big crowd last night, another large crowd expected as the Marlins and the Dodgers and California kids try to shine, and Anthony DeSclafani makes his Major League debut. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. For the Marlins, you get a sense the hangover of Jose Fernandez's injury is still palpable.
You know, it should be over with right now, but it's hard to get through that. But I think the ball club is. I think they've played a little bit better the last couple of nights. We'll see how it goes tonight for the youngster.
There's some roster shuffling and some rotation shuffling, and it's all because of that injury to Jose Fernandez. Now, the Marlins obviously have called a youngster up to pitch, but they also signed a veteran to pitch for the rest of the year.
I think when Dan Jennings came up, we knew that he would probably go back to the minor leagues. Henry Rodriguez struggled with command, was designated for assignment. Anthony DeSclafani, a 24-year-old, what a thought, what things are going through his mind, I can just imagine, making his Major League debut in this ballpark. And, of course, Randy Wolf, also signed by the ball club, a veteran with 132 career wins.
What to expect in our Chevron pitching matchup from this former Florida Gator?
The scouting report on the Gator is that he has a good arm. He's a good athlete. He has a good two-seam fastball. He'll sink it. He'll throw strikes. He'll use a slider, some change-ups. But he's got some serious nerves going for him right now.
Yes, he does. Paul Mulholland will pitch for the Dodgers tonight. Now, coming up before first pitch, Christian Yelich, who grew up 40 miles from here and enjoyed his first night at Dodger Stadium, is live with Allison Williams. Marlins and Dodgers finish the three-game series. Appropriately, his nickname is Disco. Anthony DeSclafani ready to make his Major League debut. We go live down to the field. Allison Williams, Christian Yelich.
Thank you very much, Christian. You get your first hit at Dodger Stadium, your first home run at the ballpark you grew up coming to. What does this team need to do so you can celebrate your first win here?
We just got to keep battling. It's been a little tough for us, but that hasn't discouraged anybody. We're just going to keep grinding and, go after them tonight. And I think we're going to be all right.
All right, Anthony DeSclafani making his Major League debut. You played with him a very small amount of time in the minors. You don't usually talk to the starting pitcher, but any bit of advice you gave him as he makes his debut?
I just said congratulations to him, and I just told him to enjoy it. It wasn't too long ago that I was making my debut, so you only get one of these. Obviously, he's going to have some nerves, but I think he's going to have a lot of fun as well.
All right, Christian, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you,
guys.
Very nice. Giancarlo Stanton getting ready. Stanton and the Marlins looking for their first win, their last shot in this series. It's the finale. Dodgers have captured games 1 and 2, and a rookie is on the mound for the Marlins tonight. First pitch coming up. On Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability. 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By Checkers. Visit your local Checkers for the $2 shrimp and prize box. And by your South Florida Honda dealers and sfhondadealers.com. Malibu, home of Pepperdine University. Alma mater of one Randy Wolf. The latest Marlin. The veteran signing with the Marlins today, and he'll join the rotation shortly. Here's the lineup that the Marlins sent out there tonight. Christian Yelich, Ed Lucas, Giancarlo Stanton's streak is still alive at 15 games. Lineups are brought to you by JM Lexus. Then the right-handed bats of Jeff Baker and Reed Johnson. Garrett Jones at first, Denny Echeverria. Jeff Mathis gets to catch the rookie in his Major League debut, Anthony DeSclafani.
Certainly a guy, Rich, the Marlins have seen a number of times. Paul Maholm, 31-year-old veteran, had a no decision in that game in Miami. Gave up 9 hits and 3 runs in his 6 innings. Jeff Mathis, by the way, homered against Maholm. And there are a number of Marlins hitters that have had good success against the lefty.
The Marlins last night were baffled by Josh Beckett's off-speed assortment. And in Game 1, Dan Herron, a similar style to Beckett as well. And so now they get the lefty in Maholm. And it's Yelich, Lucas, Stanton right out of the chute here in the first inning.
Well, and because of that lefty, you saw some of the changes in the lineup for Mike Redmond. No change with the leadoff guy, though, Christian Yelich in there.
Yelich a couple hits in the series, including a home run. Pitch a penny brings you the first pitch. Yelich bunts, and it's a foul ball. The count is 0-1. Yelich never really bunted in his minor league career until he ran into Brett Butler. And it's one of the things Butler added to his arsenal. He's been successful on 3 occasions dropping down bunt hits this year.
Not only with bunts up the third base line, but we've seen him successful dragging a bunt, trying to get it past the pitcher.
Check swing. He went around. And it's 0-2. Coming. This time he did check his swing. Mahalam on the mound, and back for the Dodgers behind the plate, A.J. Ellis.
Yeah, they're happy to have their primary catcher back there. Just off a couple of games, 2 or 3 games on a rehab assignment. It's a tough lefty. Tough assignment for a young left-handed hitter.
And this is a veteran lefty in Mahalam, who's been around a long time with the Pirates, the Cubs, the Braves, and now the Dodgers.
He's not going to give you too many pitches inside Fox tracks.
And it's out. Scott Berry, the home plate umpire. You saw Ellis react as if he thought it was strike 3, but you see the ball is out. So Berry was on it. He turns to the Dodger dugout for a few words. We'll see what Yelich gets. 3-2. In the dirt, nice at bat. Yelich battles back and draws a leadoff walk. Here is that Dodger defense with A.J. Ellis behind the plate.
Let's see who's in that rotating outfield and who isn't. You got Carl Crawford in left, Ethier in center. So Matt Kemp out of the lineup tonight for the Dodgers. Puig on a streak, on a tear. He's in right field. Turner and Hanley Ramirez left side. D. Gordon, Adrian Gonzalez on the right side. And as you pointed out, A.J. Ellis behind the plate.
Ed Lucas now. Yelich the runner at first. Mahalam holds runners pretty well. And you got Stanton on deck. Lucas takes outside.
Not only does he hold runners pretty well, an okay move, but he's quick to the plate. He doesn't have that big power, high leg kick. He gives you a real quick slide step.
Mississippi State, first round draft pick by the Pirates back in 03. Lucas drives it right center field, hits it well. Puig is on the spot and he makes the catch.
We've talked about it, Rich, in this series, and probably because of the heat wave that's gone through Los Angeles. This is the best I've seen the ball carry in night games for a 3-game series.
Game time temperature here in Los Angeles, 93 degrees. Should get into the 80s by about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Here is Giancarlo Stanton, 15 straight, 4 hits in this series. Dodgers have shifted. It's funny, the shift has worked, and then it's worked against the Dodgers. Stanton has found that right side for hits a couple times, but twice last night he bounced over the bag at second, and D. Gordon was waiting for it.
I think with a guy like Mahalam, more likely that Stanton's going to pull the ball on the ground. What a solid start for Giancarlo.
Hits by direction for Stanton.
Very improved in this area. Look at that, 11 hits to right field, center field. So staying up the middle, using the entire field. Bottom line, that's why he's hitting .312.
And despite the Marlins' struggles, the Fish have dropped 5 in a row on this road trip. Stanton has continued to swing the bat well and drive in runs.
So you go through all those things, and then you say, oh, by the way, he's 5 for 9 off Paul Mahalam.
He's got a 3-0 pitch to look at here. And if he chooses, a 3-0 pitch to take a rip at. A running fastball. Stanton didn't like it.
That's interesting because you don't see Giancarlo complain very much. Now, you know, from the first glance, it looked like it was an awful pitch, but it actually appeared to catch a little bit of fox tracks.
3-1 coming. And Mulholland goes over to first. Yelich is back.
But you rarely see Stanton question an umpire's call too often.
Stanton just said, no problem. It's a running dialogue you have with an umpire that starts with your first at bat.
Saying, okay, Scott Berry, and I'll get something I can drive here.
Little looper. Gordon has it, flips it, Stanton beats it. And once again, the shift works against the Dodgers. Twice Stanton has been jammed and dribbled balls out in that direction.
Batting next, second baseman
come
number
up
10,
with hits.
Jeff Baker.
He can't help but laugh at that base hit, and I guarantee you guys in the dugout are going to be all over him, saying, how can a big guy, 250 pounds, as big as you, a guy who hits balls as far as you do, how can you get a base hit like this?
And it shows you his speed as well, because Gordon is fast, got to the ball, flipped it, and Stanton beat it.
Good job by Yelich, too, in summing up where that hit was to get to second base.
Now Jeff Baker and the tweak in the Marlins lineup are the two right-handed bats stacked behind Stanton against this lefty. First is Baker, who is swinging it quite well. He had a real struggle in April, but in his last 7 games, Baker is 10 for 25, 3 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Of course, he beat the Dodgers with a walk-off hit in Miami to end that 3-game series. The Marlins won 2 of the 3 games.
Baker is also one of the many Marlins in the lineup tonight that's had good success. Look at those numbers against Paul Mulholland. Ironically, his game-winning hit was off the right-hander, Jamie Wright. There's a little quick pitch by Mulholland.
Baker a solo shot. Marcell Ozuna also roughed up the left-hander.
Jeff Mathis homered off Mulholland.
Little tapper towards the bag. It draws Gordon over, and Hanley's turn is in time, and Baker bounces into a 4-6-3 double play. Anthony DeSclafani makes his major league debut next. Marlins and Dodgers. The Dodgers 22-19 right now. JM Lexus brings you their lineup. D. Gordon in the leadoff spot. Terrific run by Yasiel Puig, and he's had a productive series. So is Hanley Ramirez. Adrian Gonzalez in the cleanup spot. It's Andre Ethier in center. Carl Crawford in left. Justin Turner, who, even though hitting at .206, he always hurts the Marlins. A.J. Ellis returns after an injury. And Paul Maholm is in the 9th spot. And there's a look at Anthony DeSclafani, the 24-year-old out of Freehold, New Jersey, via the University of Florida.
Well, he was a 6th-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays in 2011. He was the Marlins minor league pitcher of the year last year. Most of his college career at UF was pitching out of the bullpen. But as a professional, most of the time he's been used as a starting pitcher. And the scouting report, he's a good athlete out there. When he's on his game, he throws strikes, good sinkers. He'll mix in a slider and some changeups.
First pitch, a fastball, a bunt. Lucas is on it. Quick throw, and he got him. Nice play by Ed Lucas, who was waiting on D. Gordon's bunt. And that's got to be a big relief for the kid. Tommy throws one pitch. He's got one out.
You know, the last thing as a youngster making your debut in this ballpark is to have to deal with D. Gordon at first base, too. Leads the National League with 24 stolen bases. So, well done. One pitch. Got the first one out of the way.
Anytime you make your major league debut, you have to avoid being starstruck. And that's something Preston Wilson talked about on Marlins Live. Facing guys that you've been watching on highlight shows and on Saturdays on the game of the week. Yasiel Puig obviously has been one of the biggest stories in baseball since he arrived here with the Dodgers. And here is DeSclafani facing Puig with Hanley Ramirez, Adrian Gonzalez, Andre Ethier, Carl Crawford behind him. So if ever there's a team where you can get starstruck, it's this Dodger team. And Puig takes down low.
And here in L.A., if you look into the stands, you could get starstruck.
Look, DeSclafani looks into the stands. He'll see his family. His family has come here to watch him pitch at Dodger Stadium and make his major league debut. And Puig takes a strike.
That's a good live fastball. And if he keeps it down in that area, he'll do just fine.
Now, DeSclafani is obviously a Florida Gator. The man he's working with considers himself a Seminole. Jeff Mathis was recruited by Florida State, a terrific quarterback and baseball player. He didn't go there, but he is an enormous Florida State fan. So much so that he came to Pasadena to watch the national championship game and root his Seminoles on. And I asked Mathis, any issues, Gators, Noles? And he said, not tonight.
Hey, you've also seen 94, 95, 96, the last 3 fastballs.
And that's what Mathis told us, Tommy. Good fastball, and he wants the kid to use it a lot.
Yeah, and because it's his debut, he's not going to try to move around and have him spot pitches. Just keep it down, get the movement there. And his fastball can be deceptive because he has such an easy delivery.
Two. There's the fastball. It was close. But the count's full now, 3-2. Just off Fox tracks. Puig, a 13-game streak and 5 RBIs in this series. Missed down low.
All right, there's a look at the defense behind Anthony DeSclafani with Reed Johnson and Yelich moving over to center. Stanton in right. Ed Lucas made a fine play on that Gordon bunt. Echeverria, Jeff Baker at second, Garrett Jones at first, and we've talked about Jeff Mathis behind the plate.
And the Ramirez now. Ramirez, a couple of hits and a couple of runs driven in. He had a big hit in last night's Dodger win, a 7-1 win, a 2-run double that helped crack it open in the 6th. DeSclafani for a strike.
You know, Hanley's at that point. I mean, he's had some big hits. He has the 19 RBIs. He has 15 doubles, but he's yet to really get on track and get on one of those Hanley Ramirez runs.
Pulled foul. One of the oddities of DeSclafani, and it's a nice thing, his numbers are better in professional baseball than they were as a collegiate. At Florida in 3 years, his ERA was a little over 5. His junior year, he signed after his junior year, it was 5-3 with a 4.33. His numbers have been much better in the minor leagues.
Yeah, his junior year, 28 games, but just 2 starts. So he was working out of the bullpen for Kevin O'Sullivan.
And that's one of the nuances of baseball, is that when a scout sees a guy in a game, he doesn't always see him in the role that he's playing in that particular game.
And you really don't know, in DeSclafani's case, how that'll translate as he moves on. Is he going to be a starting pitcher at this level, or will he work out of a bullpen?
He's working to Hanley Ramirez here at Dodger Stadium right now. So far, Tommy, kid looks composed.
Yes, he does.
He's had good location. He missed in the right places to Puig. Dan Jennings, Marlins general manager,
chatting it up with Scott Boras. I think you all know who he is.
Jose Fernandez agent, as well as super agent in baseball.
You know, he's read. I actually was talking to Scott the other day, right after the MRI that Jose had, and of course his firm and they have read many MRIs themselves. And the one thing he did say, he said it is a really clean-looking elbow, obviously because Jose's 21. So that's a good sign, and you hope that the rehab, if he chooses to have the surgery, is a good one.
Got him! Breaking ball.
First one he's thrown, and Hanley was totally fooled.
Well, Jeff Mathis said he would call a lot of fastballs, but he wouldn't hesitate to call on that.
Oh, yeah. Borderline pitch. Hanley questions it, but boy, that was perfect. We may have a nice audience up in Gainesville tonight, too.
Or maybe up in Freehold, New Jersey, teammates from Colts Neck High School. Gonzalez, couple hits in the series. And Puig is chased back. Dodgers have run against the Marlins. Puig this year has 4 stolen bases. DeSclafani gets a strike.
And I would say if you're Mike Redmond or Chuck Hernandez, out of DeSclafani you want 5-6 solid innings, and you would certainly be happy.
Puig bluffs, and a liner finds right center field. Stanton has it. Puig, big turn, holds there. Gonzalez has a hit.
Actually, still a pretty good pitch. Gonzalez got jammed. Didn't hit this ball all that hard. Just kind of gets it into shallow right center. Good turn by Puig, but he also knows the arm of Stanton.
You know, the other thing working here with DeSclafani is that he pitched for Mike Redmond in 2012 in Lansing, where he was 11-3 with a 3.37 ERA. So as he arrived in the clubhouse to get ready for this one, probably pretty comforting to see that the manager is someone he knows and has pitched for.
That actually holds a lot of weight. That's a good feeling. If you come up and you maybe just remember the manager a little bit from spring training. But good move by Jeff Mathis to talk things over. Man at second base, maybe the sign's a little bit different. He may have gotten crossed up on that breaking ball.
Ask Mathis, how do you calm a guy down? You can see a pitch actually caught part of the strike zone. How do you calm a kid down, make his major league debut? Because every catcher in the big leagues has to do it. I said, well, just try to drop the blood pressure a little bit.
And you know what? Jeff Mathis has done it for a long time. He's in his 8th year. Never known for his hitting, but handling pitchers, and he's handled a lot of young pitchers making their major league debuts.
He is the perfect guy to be catching DeSclafani tonight. 2-0 pitch. Fastball, Ethier hits it in the air. That's Reed Johnson out there, and he makes the catch, and Anthony DeSclafani opens his big league career with a scoreless first at Dodger Stadium. Marlins, Dodgers, scoreless. Making his major league debut at 24 here against the Dodgers. It's hot, folks. It's dipped to 91. 99 was the high.
Look at the humidity, though, at 8%.
I don't care if you call
it's
it
still hot.
A dry heat or low humidity. It felt more like Phoenix than it did Los Angeles.
Yeah, but if we were in Phoenix, they'd have the roof closed.
Reed Johnson, Garrett Jones, and Eddie Echeverria against Paul Mahala. Now the Marlins will set out and try to score some runs for DeSclafani. Johnson 1 for 2 pinch hitting appearances in this series, and both balls he scalded. One got out of the ballpark, and one was snared and left by Carl Crawford last night.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on 31-year-old veteran. A little herky-jerky. Sometimes he jumps at you. We've seen him quick pitch, too. The two-seamer has sink. Change-up he's used. Has a curve and a slider. So he'll give you a little bit of everything.
Reed Johnson continues a terrific road trip. Bangs a solid single to center field.
Coming to the
lead off hit here in the
46,
second. Phillies are coming, and on Tuesday the 20th, with the Popeyes ticket offer, you can come and see the ball game. It's the chicken combo meal at any participating Popeyes location. Bring your receipt to the Marlins Park ticket office on Tuesday, May 20th, and get 2 home run porch tickets to see the Marlins and the Phils. 7:10 start on that Tuesday night.
So the Marlins have the Phillies and the Brewers in town.
Garrett Jones against the shift, drops a bunt down and gets himself a base hit.
I absolutely love that. Garrett Jones has struggled somewhat against lefties. He's got a tough lefty on the mound. If you're going to shift, go ahead and shift and cross him up. Doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. He squared almost and got himself a base hit. Moved Reed Johnson up and still nobody out. I love that. That's great.
Echeverria now. So first and second, nobody out. Echeverria in the 7th spot. You've got Mathis, who homered against Mahalam when the two teams met a couple weeks ago in Miami. Echeverria takes a strike. Marlins are headed up to San Francisco to take on the Giants. The Giants pounded the Braves to take the series against Atlanta. Michael Morse, Fort Lauderdale kid, Brandon Crawford, and Hunter Pence homering for the Giants.
Should be a little cooler up at AT&T Park as well.
Echeverria goes after a slow breaking ball and hits it in the air. Johnson tags and bluffs.
Has that slow 12-6 curveball, and you can see he had Etch out on that front foot.
Batting next for the Marlins, catcher number 6, Jeff Mathis.
Now Mathis. The Marlins against Mahalam had 3 runs in 6 innings. One of them came on a Jeff Mathis home run.
Notice how Mahalam's reaction. He just put his head down. He knew that ball was out as soon as it was hit.
Strike to Mathis. Mathis against lefties this year, 3 for 8.
Every once in a while, they just go up with a upper 80s fastball. And one thing Mahalam's always been good at, and we saw it in the first inning, inducing double plays. Makes that perfect pitch. You got Baker to just reach a little bit, hit into a double play, and I'm sure he's thinking the same thing with Mathis up there.
Since 2005, Mahalam has induced a lot of double plays. In fact, in the National League this year, Mahalam's at 8. Second most double plays in the National League since 2005.
And the Marlins saw Tyson Ross in San Diego with that nasty slider.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Count evens on Mathis. DeSclafani is on deck.
One of the keys for inducing double plays, and obviously Mahalam does it, is getting ahead. You get ahead, then you can make that perfect pitch.
Well, he got ahead, and he's missed on 3 consecutive. DeSclafani taking it all in. Ground ball, well hit, left field. Johnson will stop at third. Brett Butler initially had him scoring, or at least attempting to score, but I think Johnson either didn't have a clean turn.
Batting next, pitcher number 28.
Especially with DeSclafani coming up.
Watch a little bit of a quick pitch. Not much of a set. Here he comes. Good swing by Mathis. I think also Brett Butler checking on Carl Crawford and how he charged the ball. And look at how Crawford came in. So he was in real shallow left field when he got that ball. And that was about the time Reed Johnson got to third.
And watching the replay, Butler had the arm waving when he was approaching third and had the stop sign up once he rounded it. So good heads up by Johnson. And here's your first at bat in the big leagues, and it comes with the bases loaded, Dodger Stadium, and 1 out in a scoreless game.
Well, by all the reports, DeSclafani, a good athlete. So you hope that he can seed the ball, get a decent swing, and you could have a worse guy to face if you're a pitcher. You've got a left-hander who's not overpowering.
He's got pitcher's bat speed, does Mahal. Chopper, Gordon, and it eats him alive and goes into right field. Johnson scores. Jones will score. Mathis stopping at third. And the Dodgers kick one badly. Puig actually bobbled as well. The Marlins get 2 runs on a big error by D. Gordon.
You know, that took a nasty hop, so it'll be interesting to see if it's an error or a base hit. Watch this. Gordon is right there, and the ball hops and goes over his shoulder, and then Puig overruns it. Watch this ball. But it is going to be an error charged to D. Gordon. Either way, the Marlins get a couple of runs.
DeSclafani does get an RBI. His first major league RBI. How about that?
And he made contact. Make contact, things can happen.
Now Yelich, and this is a big at bat because you've got Mathis at third base, a rookie starting tonight, making his major league debut for the Marlins, and now he's got himself a 2-0 lead. Yelich takes outside. Well, Mahalam did exactly what he wanted to do. He got the ground ball. He set the table for a double play.
You always love to hear other players, coaches, managers talk about your players. And I'm thinking of this with Christian Yelich up there, because in a conversation with Don Mattingly, he said, "Boy, do I love your left fielder's swing." And that's something coming from a guy like Mattingly.
I'm sure he sees a lot of what he was like when he was a youngster. Drive to left, Mathis to tag. Crawford makes the catch, and this will produce the 3rd run of the inning. Yelich with a sacrifice fly, and Miami's got a 3-0 lead. Let's go back to that bounce, the big play in the inning on the ball hit by DeSclafani.
Now the Marlins doing some little things. That's great to see, and this does take. Watch this bounce. Took a hard kick, but D. Gordon is going to say he should have fielded it, and he didn't react to the kick up. But a good AB too, and a good swing by Yelich to get the sac fly deep enough to score Mathis. So another good AB. You love to get the little runs like that.
Lucas up now. He lined out back in the 1st. Look out. Somebody saved Jane Seymour. Actually, that bat fortunately went over the head of the really expensive club seats and landed before it got to the regular.
That's usually in an area, I don't see him down there tonight, where Tommy Lasorda sits too.
That's a good point. But it didn't. My point is, it didn't hit anybody. It landed between the sections in that concrete walkway. It's amazing to think when you look at this ballpark how far it must have been from home plate to the backstop in the old ballpark, because they added those club seats 5-6 years ago.
Well, they kind of had what they called a dugout section, and it was if you sat down there, you actually were at eye level to the field.
You and Mike Brito, the super scout. Brito, who always was seen at old Dodger Stadium with the Panama hat and the radar gun.
He still shows up every night at Dodger Stadium, not in the same capacity with the radar gun. Still has the hat, though.
I always envision Mike Brito sitting in a folding chair at some intersection in Pasadena with his radar gun, clocking the motorists in his spare time.
And his prodigy, who he scouted and found for the Dodgers, saw him up here in the press box doing some Spanish radio, Fernando Valenzuela.
I think that got Mike Brito a lifetime assignment.
Yeah.
With the Dodgers. Lucas battling. DeSclafani's at first. 3 runs across. High drive, left field. Crawford's back at the track, at the wall. Gone! Ed Lucas. First of the year. 2-run shot. 5-run inning. And Mahalam is stunned.
Boy, Ed Lucas with 4 home runs last year. You just gotta love the way he approaches this game.
Right fielder,
all business,
Stanton.
gets his work done. He's always prepared. Gets the start tonight and goes deep his first time up. Haven't had a whole lot of that on this road trip.
Look at the kid getting the high fives. A big part of the inning. He hit the ball that ate up Gordon. And here's Stanton again.
And a great example of this heat and how this ball is carrying. This ball just kept going and going and going. I'm sure Crawford thought he was going to make a catch.
Stanton's hit streak is at 16 games. Extended it with an infield hit. Into the vast emptiness on the right side of the infield. A jam shot that blooped out towards where Gordon normally would play, but Gordon's back behind second. You can see him in the shot there. Stanton fouls it back to the screen. So if I've got it right, scoring in terms of what the shift has done and what it's taken away, I've got 2 hits for Stanton where they usually play, and 2 outs for the Dodgers because of the shift. So it's pretty much even here in game 3 of the series. No shift to stop Ed Lucas.
Yeah, you throw in Garrett Jones's bunt base hit that was a part of this inning too.
Stanton, a rifle shot left field. Crawford over his head, off the wall, around first, and he pulls it at second. When it left the bat, Tommy, I almost said that's going to get over Crawford's head. You and I have watched Stanton now for almost 4 years. Balls carry differently off his bat.
This ball just takes off, and he can fool outfielders. A lot of times you'll see infielders get tied up on hard hit balls. Stanton can do that with outfielders. He got his legs all crossed up, his feet were going in the wrong direction, and another base hit, another hard hit ball by Giancarlo.
At 98.8 miles per hour. On this road trip, Stanton has hit a couple of balls that have been recorded at right around 112 miles an hour off the bat. And I believe, and we haven't double checked this as of today, but I believe 2 of those are 2 of the 5 fastest off the bat, and all 5 belong to Stanton.
And we've commented on a lot of those numbers are usually guys hitting home runs, but for Stanton at times they're singles or doubles.
Now Baker, who bounced into a double play. 5-0. If the Marlins have learned anything, they know that there can be never You can never get too many runs. The appeal that Stanton missed first. First base umpire Jeff Nelson says he touched it.
Well, the Marlins have batted around here in this second inning.
To 2-0. Five runs, 6 hits. And a key error for the Dodgers, who are without a run. They have 1 hit.
Well, I think we have our first Dodger Stadium beach ball sighting.
Last night we had a fan come out on the field who apparently wanted to meet Yasiel Puig on his bobblehead night. And the Dodger Stadium security folk, very impressive. There were no missed tackles. There was no dodging, prancing around in the outfield. The guy went down, and he went down hard.
Let me just say they would fit in quite nicely with the security people in Philadelphia.
Where I grew up, Oakland's security guys were pretty tough too. You had to be to work Raider games and athletic games. Stanton at second. Mahalam checks 2-2. Baker sends it up into the seats. Over 50,000 were here last night. It was great to see this old ballpark filled. The Dodgers have, I guess now, the largest capacity ballpark at 56,000. They used to build them big. In fact, I think they actually reduced the seating at Coors Field this year. Little roller up the line. Mahalam, the throw, safe. Runner coming home. Stanton scores and surprises everybody. 6-0 Miami.
And this crowd that's here not liking what they're seeing from the Dodgers. Great hustle. Great job by Stanton on that swinging bunt off the bat of Jeff Baker.
Baker hits the ball 25 feet and drives in a run from second base.
You don't see that very often. That RBI single that went about 20-25 feet.
And now Reed Johnson is up. All the while, Mahalan's pitch count is at 52. And a breaking ball misses low and inside.
Well, and you have to think about another thing. It's been a long time for DeSclafani. Plus, he was on the bases. So he's been away from the mound for a long time.
Here's a look at that play synced up with Stanton and the plate.
And if you're Stanton, you have to be thinking about that from the get-go. He was going pretty hard, and then as soon as he saw Mahalam throw to first, came right to the plate.
You saw in that shot, Adrian Gonzalez, the first baseman for the Dodgers, was well aware that Stanton was running. He had the play in front of him. The problem was A.J. Ellis and Paul Mahalam were not covering the plate. Ramirez to second, and a long inning ends, and a good inning for the Marlins. 6 runs. One of the big blows, and Lucas, first homer of the season. 6-0, Fish.
Right fielder, Giancarlo Stanton.
Here with me is Ryan, all the way from Montana. Now, this is
Anthony DeSclafani is back on the mound, and Allison Williams has found some interested fans tonight. Hey, Dub.
Kathy, his parents, his brother Dan, all made it here from New Jersey. Jim, I'll start with you. What was it like to watch that first inning and see your son make his major league debut?
That was an awesome first inning. It was very surreal, and it's great. It's a dad's dream come true. It really is.
And for you, Kathy, you get the call Monday night. What happened? How did he tell you guys he was coming to the show?
Well, he asked where we were sitting down, and then he told his dad to put the speaker on, and he announced it to us.
What was your reaction?
Yeah, I think a big screen. And I ran upstairs to get his brother because he wasn't with us, so it was a dream come true for everybody.
For you, Dan, you see your brother out there, and then he's got a good AB too. What's this game been like for you so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, before the game, I was like so nervous for him and everything. To just see him come out here and like really do really well, it's just awesome. You know, I love him a lot.
Anytime you see a son make it to the big leagues, it's special. But to do it in a place like this in LA at Dodger Stadium, does it add an extra element to it?
Oh, absolutely. This place is awesome. I mean, the mountains in the background, and the fly all the way out here. It's a beautiful ballpark. It means a lot just coming here and doing it here.
You coached him growing up at travel ball. When did you realize that he might be pretty good at this baseball thing?
It was probably around 7 years old, and he was throwing the ball pretty good. So I said, hey, let's stick with this pitching stuff. His cousin did it, so cousin Aaron here did it, and we just followed his footsteps and did a good job. And
he's already got his first big league RBI. How was he at the plate as a youngster?
He was a good hitter. He was definitely a good hitter. Always put the bat on the ball, and he was good.
Kathy, what was the moment that you remember as a kid that he said this was his dream?
I have to say, honestly, when he went out to play travel ball, and he really started to get recognized, and that's when he knew that he wanted to continue.
Any special advice from Mom as he got ready to make his big league debut?
I just said, you can do it. You know, you can do it. You have all the tools, you can do it.
He's doing it so far. Enjoy this game. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and making the long trip from New Jersey to see their son play his first big league game here at Dodger Stadium. What a moment, guys.
Yeah, and what a lead, a 6-0 lead. Tommy, as you noted, DeSclafani watched and participated in that long half inning. It doesn't look like the delay has caused him any issues at all.
Yeah, I think the thing we've seen in this inning, we've seen better breaking ball. He's thrown a couple of them. Got the strikeout with Crawford with the slider. And I think his style suits an early lead like this, because we saw Jeff Mathis call for a lot of those two-seamers, just pound the strike zone low. I think that's a good style for him with a nice lead.
Another fastball. Turner drives it foul. Now Turner's hitting just 206. But remember, as a Met, he was always a guy that was a thorn in the Marlins side. It's 32 games, so it's not an enormous sample size.
It's not an Andre Ethier sample size.
But 385 and 10 doubles is pretty good. Rolls one up the middle. Echeverria can't get it. Turner has another hit at the Marlins' expense.
Batting next, catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
You can hear the crowd react as A.J. Ellis is announced. Ellis, veteran catcher, activated. The final of this 3-game set. Toyota Trend. Second pitcher, played the major leagues in the 3rd with the Marlins from the 2011 draft.
That's a pretty good number.
Carter Capps, also from that draft. Pretty good number, and he obviously came from Florida and played with a group of guys, that a lot of them that got to the big leagues.
2010 Gator team has had 7 guys get to the big leagues. Of course, DeSclafani making his debut tonight. Mike Zunino, his catcher. Left-hander who we saw a little bit last year with the Dodgers, Paco Rodriguez. Kevin Chapman out of Coral Springs with the Astros. Nick Morandi with the Angels. Matt Dendecker, who we saw with the Mets. And Cole Figueroa was just called up by Tampa Bay. So 7 guys on that team have gotten to the big leagues.
Missed inside with a breaking ball, although it's been a rough night for Scott Berry behind the plate.
Rough is a kind way to say it.
And that's just judging on what we see on Fox Tracks, which is the same measuring tool that umpires are graded on. Here's the 2-2. Slow tapper, Lucas charging, and on to first in time to get Ellis. Turner resides at second, and it's Mahalam who comes up with 2 outs in the second.
Rich, you were talking about Mike Redmond
pitcher number 47,
having managed a little bit DeSclafani in the minor leagues. The other thing I thought was an interesting, just going back in Marlins history. I remember A.J. Burnett making his major league debut in 1999, August 17th, right here at Dodger Stadium. A.J. Burnett's catcher, Mike Redmond, who was 2 for 3 in the game, and our own Preston Wilson was 3 for 5, helping A.J. beat the Dodgers 6-1.
Mahalam goes after the first pitch. Baker makes the play, and so far the kid is better than all right. Sunset Strip. How about that? The top of the third in Dodger Stadium. Now we invite you to tweet your fan photo, like that fan. Hashtag FL fan photo. It's a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T.
A lot of Marlins fans wearing their Marlins red-orange here amongst the sea of Dodger blue. So it stands out. Good to see.
Here in Los Angeles tonight, Anthony DeSclafani making his major league debut, called up to fill, at least temporarily, Jose Fernandez's spot in the rotation. And DeSclafani hit a ground ball that was kicked by D. Gordon, contributed to a 6-run inning. And that's where we sit in the third. Garrett Jones fouls that pitch back to the screen. Of note here is that the Dodger infield is not nearly as shifted against Jones as they were when Jones set down a beautiful bunt single against his former Pirate teammate.
Big part of that inning. Second to batter in the inning. Eventually came in to score.
Gordon gets this one and gets the out at first. Find your best connection to all your favorite Florida sports teams with the Fox Sports Florida Girls. Join the conversation online with Jordana and Anna Lee by liking them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter at FS Florida Girls and Instagram at Fox Sports Florida Girls. Tommy, you and I don't have nearly the social media appeal as the Fox Sports Florida Girls.
Neither do we have the appeal of our own social media contestant.
That's true. Allison Williams and I think Craig Minervini actually has more followers than you and I.
Catcher number 6, Jeff Mathis.
Not so sure on that one. I may say Preston over Craig.
Well, probably Preston.
Yeah.
I think Bob the Shark, though.
We try to hold our own.
Julio the Octopus is trending right now. Mathis now. Mathis singled and scored in the second. That was a big inning, and Mulholland was dinged by the bottom of the order in that he had an opportunity to get out of the inning. Mathis with a hard single to left. DeSclafani's bouncer popped off of Gordon's glove. 2 came across. And then the big blows came with Yelich's sacrifice fly. Lucas with a 2-run homer, a Stanton double, an infield single by Baker that drove in a run. And it's in.
We talked about it in San Diego against Eric Stoltz and Robbie Erlin. The Marlins had been putting up some pretty good numbers against lefty starters. They didn't fare well in those games, but still 8-4 this year against left-handed starters.
Mathis for the second time in a row behind in the count 0-2 and runs the count full 3-2. DeSclafani is on deck. And Mathis walks. Mike Hill was with us last night, and when asked about DeSclafani coming up to start, Hill readily admitted, Tommy, that it kind of came down to who was ready and who could take the start in terms of where they were in the rotation at AA, and DeSclafani had pitched well enough, and he was on turn.
I think the other thing that Mike mentioned too, the fact that DeSclafani, a college pitcher, maybe a little more mature. Hey, good swing there. This two-hopper, though, doesn't take a tricky hop.
Hanley Ramirez gets the out at second. 6-0. Marlins.
Throughout the 2014 season.
DeSclafani and his skipper from 2 years ago when he was in Single A, Mike Redmond, has our Geico quote of the night.
Like I said, he's nervous and excited, and I know he's got his family here. And saw him in the elevator, and it's a big day for him and for his family. This is we all have talked about journeys of getting to the big leagues and making your major league debut. And, this is a big one, Dodger Stadium, right? Pretty cool.
And so far, pretty cool is an accurate description as far as Redmond is concerned and DeSclafani. He's got a 6-0 lead. He gets the top of the order here in the third. D. Gordon, Yasiel Puig, and Hanley Ramirez. So we'll see what adjustments the Dodgers make the second time through. Let's see if maybe DeSclafani and Mathis adjust something as well.
I think the little adjustment we saw in DeSclafani in the second inning, a few more breaking balls, but he still has that nice, as you hear the term, repeatable delivery.
Jeff Mathis told us 2 times of fastballs, a 4-seamer and a good 2-seamer with sink. And then the curveball. We really haven't seen a changeup. But with the fastballs and the curveball, he's been good enough so far. That went into center field. Well, base hit by D. Gordon.
Right fielder, number 66.
Second, actually third hit allowed by DeSclafani. It's copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. There's Yasiel Puig now. Walked in the first. Gordon, the stolen base leader, but down 6-0. Puig drives it, right center field. Stanton back at the track, makes the catch.
Well, you can tell by the way Puig has swung the bat in this series.
Number 13.
He's on a 13-game hitting streak. You can tell that he's really locked in. Two-seamer kind of came back, got a little more of the plate, and Puig hit it hard. So he even flips the bat on a line drive out to right.
And the Ramirez now. Scouting reports in the major leagues are as detailed as you can find when a team faces a pitcher, not only on paper but also the video that teams watch. So detailed, so thorough. But it's a challenge when they face a guy like DeSclafani, because not many games are televised in the minor leagues. You can get scouting reports by hand.
Probably more of the SEC games, the Gator games, are on TV than minor league games.
Gordon is running, pitches in, Mathis' throw. That's number 25 for D. Gordon.
Well, it just shows you the kind of jump and how quick he is. Jeff Mathis did everything right, got rid of the ball quickly, made a strong throw, and D. Gordon still picked up his 25th steal.
And Gordon has a shot at a monster year for stolen bases. In this era, stealing 75 or 80 bases is enormous. It used to be at times in this game, the 70s and especially, that was a nice year. Whether you were Willie McGee or Vince Coleman, Ricky Henderson.
And I think because of the struggles offensively of Billy Hamilton, who got all the accolades and all the talk in spring training, because of his struggles offensively getting on base, D. Gordon, that's why he leads the league, because he's hitting over 300.
And his on-base percentage around 365. He's actually slugged 430 because of all the doubles and triples. He does have one home run.
And there'll be no stolen bases for the Reds tonight because the Padres in Cincinnati and the Cubs in St. Louis postponed.
There's only one other game going in the big leagues right now, in the bottom of the 8th in Houston. The Rangers and the Astros are 4-4. Here in Los Angeles, you've got Marlins, you've got Dodgers, and you've got a 24-year-old on the mound making his major league debut with a 6-0 lead. And then Ramirez rolls one to short. Echeverria gathers it in and gets the out, and DeSclafani has 2 outs here in the 3rd. Before Adrian Gonzalez stands in, we'll remind you that coming to a Marlins game with a group is a very nice way to do it. You got party areas, suite rentals, special event nights, fundraisers, all of that with a variety of group packages. 305-480-2523 or go to marlins.com/groups. DeSclafani jammed Adrian Gonzalez in the first, but the Dodgers first baseman was able to muscle it into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, the Marlins have done a pretty good job against Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez 3 for 20 against the Marlins this year.
Mets finally lost to the Yankees, and it took a shutout. Masahiro Tanaka is now 6-0. 4-0 Yankees beat the Mets. 1-0 to Gonzalez.
I think for Tanaka, his first complete game, and he continues that winning streak. Takes his record to 6-0.
Brandon McCarthy held the Nationals to just 2 hits through 8 innings, but Brad Ziegler coughed up 4 in the 9th, and the Nationals beat the Diamondbacks in Arizona 5-1.
Submariner wasn't working.
Good sharp breaking ball, and he's shown it from the very get-go in this ballgame.
It's one of those pitches, and we'll talk to Anthony about it. In between slider curveball, you see the velocity 82. A lot of sliders are a little harder, but some curveballs are a little softer.
There's the family in from New Jersey. Sharp breaking ball, and that makes everybody happy. Anthony DeSclafani has been terrific here. 3 shutout innings in his major league debut and a 6-0 lead. Veteran lefty. The Marlins today signed another veteran lefty, Randy Wolf. And Wolf, who had a terrific spring, coming back after his second Tommy John surgery. Great spring with Seattle, made Seattle's rotation. But when Seattle tried to change the negotiations in terms of the contract that they had agreed upon, Wolf said sorry and walked away. He's been in AAA with the Diamondbacks, pitching in a hitter-friendly ballpark in Reno.
And you saw pretty good numbers in that park.
And so Wolf reading up on the scouting reports right now.
Hey, Randy Wolf with 132 career wins as a major leaguer.
And, I mean, you have to look at it this way. On the day that the Marlins call up DeSclafani to make his major league debut in Fernandez's rotation spot, the Marlins sign Wolf and activate him on the major league roster. Maybe that takes a little pressure off of DeSclafani as he steps out on the mound. Now, obviously, there's a ton of pressure. It's a major league debut. But it feels like this is, if not just a one start, maybe a start and a half or a relief appearance for DeSclafani, with Wolf joining the rotation. The good news, though, for DeSclafani, he can show what he can do at the big league level, and it's just a great opportunity for him.
I'll take it to this step. Let's say he goes on and pitches a nice 5-6 innings, and even if he's not in the rotation, the bullpen could use a lot of help.
Amen. And DeSclafani has pitched out of the bullpen in his career. Into center field, base hit by Yelich. Christian Yelich leads off the fourth with a hit, a walk, a sac fly, and a single already for Yelich.
Number 59, Ed Lucas.
And it's just in the fourth inning. And that's another point to consider, because with DeSclafani and Wolf, all of a sudden the Marlins have 6 starters, and the next move, corresponding move, would be to add a bullpen arm. So if DeSclafani comes out here and dazzles and impresses, you never know. Ed Lucas, a 2-run homer to left. And he lined to deep right back in the first. So he has seen the ball out of Mahalam's hand quite well.
Here's that Ed Lucas home run on a ball that Mahalam tried to get in on him, and he didn't get it in far enough, and it just kept carrying. They get fooled. Carl Crawford for sure.
Lucas, a high chopper over the head of Turner and into left field. Big turn by Yelich. And Ed Lucas is 2 for 3, and the Marlins have something going here in the fourth. And I don't expect the leash from Paul Mahalam to be very long here.
Turner about even with the bag, and I would guess with the speed and the turn that Yelich had, if there was one out, Yelich may have tried to go to third. Carl Crawford doesn't have a strong throwing arm at all, but with nobody out, he put the brakes on, decided to hold up.
Here is Stanton now. His third look at Mahalam, an infield hit, a laser beam double. And Mahalam misses down low. Dodger bullpen is active. No one throwing, just lots of stretching.
A lot of guys down there anticipating that phone call.
Guys, I mean, obviously they're watching the game too. They start to move around and get loose, expecting the phone to ring.
Chris Withrow down there doing a few stretches.
Stanton's hit streak is at 16 games. He's got 6 hits in the series. And Mahalam doesn't seem too interested in throwing him anything hard or around the plate. Look at the first 2 pitches. Brought to you by Checkers or Fox Tracks.
With the way the ball has carried this series, Giancarlo has a chance, if he can launch one, to hit one a long way.
So the count now 3-0. Chris Withrow may be going from stretching to throwing here in a hurry. Baker's on deck. Let's see if Stanton gets something to swing at. Nope. Had no interest in Stanton at all. And so the bags are loaded. There's nobody out. He essentially pitched around Stanton first and second
to load the bases.
To load the bases.
He didn't look like he wanted to throw him a strike at all.
Second baseman number 10.
He has not struck out a batter. He's walked 3. He's given up 9 base hits.
Now Baker, who bounced into a double play and then hit the little dribbler up the third base line. With Stanton at second, that turned into an RBI single when the throw went to first and Baker beat the throw. Stanton never stopped. Ellis and Mahalam struggled to cover.
A.J. Ellis getting word from the dugout. They go out and kind of stall things a little bit.
Scott Berry, and I'm not sure what's up here. Don Mattingly and Scott Berry.
Something about the phone might not be working in the bullpen.
There's a lot of Dodgers expecting a call. You can see the bullpen catchers trying to get a body description of who you want. You want the big guy?
That used to be how it was relayed in the old days.
That used to be the universal sign for Rich Garces. No, Wapo.
Then you had the big, tall lefty. You have the little short guy. And all kinds of signs.
I think this is the Rich Garces.
Rich Garces.
We don't have him anymore. we got a guy with a mustache.
That would be a Chris Perez, maybe. The beard a little too early for Brian Wilson.
There's still nobody throwing yet. There is an issue with the phone. And now Rick Honeycutt, the Dodgers are trying everything they can do. Now their phone may be broken, that's true, but Mattingly came out and it took as much time as he could.
Well, his tactic is worked.
Yeah, that's the sign.
See, that's the sign.
So that's the
big
sign
guy
for
with
Chris
the beard.
Perez. Big guy, beard. Allison, what you got down there?
Over by the Dodger dugout, guys, and it sounded like one of the umpires just told Mattingly to go ahead and send somebody down there, referring to the bullpen. I have a feeling it's an issue with the bullpen phone. They haven't been able to communicate as to who they want up.
Well, here's my question. Why are the Dodgers being allowed to just stand around and warm somebody up?
Right, that's I don't know if it's because they weren't able to call down to the pen to get the right guy warmed up.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the Dodgers' responsibility to get word down there.
That's like saying I didn't know the speed limit was 55. You know, the signs are posted all over.
I mean, the umpires are literally standing on the infield right now waiting while Perez gets loose.
The Marlins had an issue, I think, with their bullpen phone earlier today because they were working on it when we were interviewing Redmond. So maybe there's a few more issues.
Well, Mahalam's not long for the game. We know that. Here's Baker. Bags are loaded. There's nobody out.
More than likely, this will be Mahalam's last hitter.
Unless Nancy B runs out on the field and causes a delay, and they change pitchers.
Saw those numbers of Jeff Baker over the last 10 games, and he's also 10 for 24 now in his career against Mahalam.
Bases filled with Fish, Yelich, Lucas, Stanton. Two and one. The Dodgers are also having trouble with their scoreboard in right field. The count is not registering. They've had to put it up manually on the big scoreboard. So the phones are out and some other stuff is happening here. On the ground, this is going to be a double play. Yelich is going to score. Stanton is erased at second. And it's 7-0 Miami. And Reed Johnson is up.
Batting next, left fielder,
well,
number
twice
5,
Mahalam
Reed
has
Johnson.
just gotten that two-seamer out over the plate. You know the tactic that Jeff Baker has. He's trying to send that ball into right center. But each time he's hit it on the ground, and Mahalam's gotten a big double play.
Johnson takes a strike. One of the things they added, Tommy, when they remodeled Dodger Stadium 4 or 5 years ago, they added a corridor from both dugouts down to the bullpens. So you can send somebody down to the bullpen without having to run out on the field and disrupt play,
which they used to have to do before they added that corridor.
Runner at third, 2 outs. Johnson stays alive. Reed Johnson 1 for 2. Both at bats came in the second inning. He has swung it well. He did in San Diego, and he has continued it here in Los Angeles.
When he takes a pitch in, he knows it's in because he's right on top of that plate.
Breaking ball, Johnson hits it, left center field, that's deep, and it is gone! 2-run shot! 9-0. A slight smile from Reed Johnson, the Southern California native. Mahalam is upset. The Marlins crack it wide open with 3 more here in the 4th.
Boy, he stayed back, waited on this slow breaking ball. There it is. Out on the front foot, but the upper half of the body, the hands and everything stay back, and was able to drive that ball out of here. See how the hands stay back? Even though his front side, the foot got out, he was fooled a little bit there, but by keeping the hands back, 2-run shot, second hit of the night. A lot of fun tonight for the Marlins. They haven't had too much on this road trip.
This one is a long ways from over in that you have a rookie pitcher making his major league debut. But when you put 9 runs up and you're not even done with the 4th, what a big shot in the arm that is to a kid who was, by all accounts, very nervous and anxious to make this start tonight. I mean, who wouldn't? But
yeah. And he's got a 9-run lead right now.
And another ground ball against the shift. Jones has another hit. And he's going to try for 2, and he's going to get there. Crawford doesn't have the arm he once had. He bunted against the shift for a hit, and this time he goes down the third base line for another hit.
Number 3.
This is just a little half swing. Okay, I'm going to stay back. You're not going to overpower me with hard stuff. And then alertly, Garrett Jones moved on to second base. So Reed Johnson is homered, his second home run in this series. And all Mattingly can do is shake his head.
9-0, Miami on top.
Hot dog race presented by Farmer John. Competing
Mahalam
for the Reserve
exits.
Club and Top Deck Dodger Dog Day, representing the low.
Chris Perez comes in Los Angeles.
Field level and pavilion. Catch up, Katie. Let's see where the racers will be starting from. Downtown.
I wonder if he knew that the sign for him was really big guy with a beard, as the bullpen catcher signaled in.
Hey, no question. I mean, that makes sense, because you factor in Brian Wilson's not as big, and it's too early in the game to bring the beard in.
So what would the sign for Brian Wilson be? Would it be not only the beard, or how about him crossing the arms?
Cross, or you might go length of beard.
I would do length of beard, and then beard cross the arms.
Cross the arms.
Echeverry up. Jones is at second. If you just joined us, you're asking yourself, what in the world? The phones to the Dodger bullpen apparently not functioning. The Dodgers came out to inform Scott Berry, the home plate umpire, and so the Dodgers dugout and bullpen had to go through a series of pantomimes to summon the correct reliever. Turner cuts in front of Hanley. Echeverria beats it. And Echeverria with good speed has an infield hit, and he greets Chris Perez. Here comes Jeff Mathis.
Coming to the plate, catcher,
it's something
Jeff Mathis,
that we have seen all year, and we've seen it even during some of the down times. All the Marlin hitters busting it up the line, going hard.
And so here is Mathis. And in the old days, when they didn't have phones in dugouts and bullpens, this is how they would summon a reliever. Each guy would have their own personal sign. And this is the Chris Perez sign. Beard.
Beard.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Beard, mustache.
Okay.
That's Perez.
And trust me, in those old days when they had signs, there would be mix-ups.
Well, and the sign back from, oftentimes you would get a manager looking down to the bullpen with his hands up asking if a guy was ready, and the sign that he's ready would be the bullpen coach taking his cap off and waving his cap, which meant that reliever was ready.
And if you had two right-handers, let's say, warming up, the manager might want the right-hander on the inside, on the left side.
Mathis drives it right center field. That ball's well hit. That ball is gone. 2-run shot. Jeff Mathis, 11-0 Miami. Check that. 12-0 Miami. Even better.
Way to go, Jeff Mathis.
Pitcher number 28.
We've seen Jeff Mathis,
Anthony DeSclafani,
Reed Johnson, and Ed Lucas homer in this ball game.
So a 3-run shot by Mathis, and apologize to the Mathis family for shorting him an RBI. And it's 12-0, and DeSclafani takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, Mathis has 2 home runs this year. There's that 2-seamer just stayed out over the plate, and each of his home runs has been against the Dodgers.
DeSclafani is up. Well, you're a starting pitcher, and your third at bat comes in the 4th inning. You know it's a good night.
Everybody in the lineup has at least 1 hit. 5 guys have 2 hits.
There's your box scoring game. DeSclafani not a hit, but he does have an RBI.
And it's the second time tonight that the Marlins have sent at least 9 men to the plate in an inning.
Broken bat. And Gonzalez steps on the bag. Enormous night in Los Angeles for the Marlins and Anthony DeSclafani. The Fish have put a dozen on the board. Reed Johnson, a 2-run shot. Jeff Mathis, 3-run shot. 12-0. Sports Florida is brought to you by Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi Motors invite you to find your own lane. By Bluebell Ice Cream. And by South Florida Volkswagen dealers. Save thousands during Volkswagen's first really big sale. In Los Angeles tonight, 12 runs, 13 hits for Miami. The Dodgers without a run, 3 hits. There's a lot of storylines. It is LA. A couple of homers last inning. Reed Johnson, 2-run shot. Jeff Mathis, 3-run shot. Ed Lucas has hit a 2-run homer. And the other storyline, which was the headline leading into the ball game for Miami, is that Anthony DeSclafani is making his major league debut on the mound, and he's held the Dodgers hitless. He gets Andre Ethier, Carl Crawford, and Justin Turner. And it's only the bottom of the 4th.
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at it. I think the fact that it's DeSclafani's major league debut, he's going to stay focused. I mean, you'd get some pitchers that would have a hard time with this big of a lead.
Sharp ground ball. Jones gathers it in and beats Ethier to the bag.
And I think Jeff Mathis is going to keep him focused.
Batting next for the Dodgers, left fielder number 3, Carl Crawford.
Here comes Crawford now.
And so far he's pounded the strike zone, kept that sinker down, and looked real good doing it.
The Dodger outfielder app on your iPhone today came up with Ethier in center, Crawford in left, Puig in right. As we've noted throughout the series, Puig is pretty much in that rotation every night. Liner to center. Yelich on the move, makes the catch. But for Crawford and Ethier probably more so than Kemp, but all 3 of those guys have been in and out.
Batting next, third baseman.
If the Dodgers get to October, then that trio certainly should be fresh. They may not be happy, but they should be fresh.
You know, you actually have people now searching on their app to see if there's a Dodger outfield app.
I don't think anybody drives in Los Angeles without the app that tells you how traffic is doing on all the freeways.
What's the traffic flow? Again, you just have to like the way free and easy. Lots of strikes.
Fastball lifted foul and into the seats.
Talked earlier about that A.J. Burnett debut here at Dodger Stadium that Mike Redmond caught. A.J. went 5 2/3, gave up 5 hits, just 1 run. The 1 run, a Todd Hollingsworth home run against A.J.
Todd Hollingsworth would go on to join the Marlins and be a nice piece off the bench in the World Championship team in 2003.
Yes, he was. Left-handed bat, could give you some power. Certainly play the outfield, had some speed. Very good addition.
So it's a 12-0 lead. 0-2 to Turner, line into right, base hit. I don't know what it is about the Marlins. Justin Turner hitting just barely over 200 on the season.
Dodger catcher number 17
has 5 hits in this series, and his average is climbing towards 400 in his career against Miami. He might be the new Ty Wigginton.
It's a good chance. We talked about him getting the opportunity to play in this series because Juan Uribe, veteran third baseman, a little hamstring issue, and they're trying to be real careful with that.
Well, there it is. He has reached 400.
He's reached it.
He's reached the summit. Here's Ellis. High fly ball. And it's out of reach. Stanton giving chase. Dodgers activating Ellis. Miguel Olivo, former Marlin, was optioned back to AAA Albuquerque. Ellis had arthroscopic surgery on his left knee, the second on that same knee in the last 18 months, and he had the surgery on April 8th. Bothered him throughout the spring. Played in just 7 games before the surgery.
So just a little over a month, and he's back.
There's the curveball.
Yeah, that's a nice pitch.
DeSclafani. He's flirted a bit with a slider, but he hasn't really owned it yet to the point where he's ready to trot it out in his major league debut.
Now we're talking about the Marlins' success against lefty starters. They will not see a left-hander in San Francisco. Matt Cain, Tim Hudson, Tim Lincecum, and Ryan Vogelsong.
That ball's well hit. Right center field. Stanton is back at the track, waves for it, and makes the catch. Anthony DeSclafani, 4 shutout innings and a 12-0 lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday Clayton Kershaw received his Gibby Award.
Dodgers big in Los Angeles. MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns. Padres take on Joey Votto and the Reds. Weather permitting. They had a rain out today. The Padres are playing better. The Marlins saw that. It all starts 12:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The Marlins saw Chris Perez for a bit. Chris Withrow is up here on a night where Miami has blasted 3 home runs and scored 12 runs against the Dodgers in the first 4 innings.
And it doesn't look like Don Mattingly made any kind of a double switch, so he just wants to get 1 inning out of Withrow, and he may work his bullpen that way the rest of the night.
Yelich. Busy night for Yelich. A walk, a sacrifice fly, single, then scored in the 4th.
I think the kids back home may be getting restless for the 10-run reel.
It's on the way. Apparently they have cracked the code on the briefcase, and the 10-run reel is getting locked and loaded. If you don't know what the 10-run reel is, when the Marlins are down 10 or up 10.
And it's always more fun when the Marlins are up 10.
Without question. But we still adhere to the rule regardless of who's on top. We will then present some of the lighter moments in Marlins television and Major League Baseball television history. Some of the weird, fun stuff. And I would expect we have some cool stuff from Dodger Stadium, because some odd stuff has happened when the Marlins have been here in Los Angeles. I can remember the shot of our favorite acrobatic dog, maybe, or
skateboarding, I believe.
Dad in the stands calling for a ball from the field while holding his daughter. There was a nacho explosion at one point that was captured on film. Counts 2-2.
Was some really nice at bats tonight from Christian Yelich. He drew a walk, lead off the game after falling behind early on, sac fly, and then a base hit in the fourth.
It's out, and Yelich walks. Withrow reacts. He thought it was a strike. We check in with Allison Williams. Hey, Dub.
As you guys know, when you come to Dodger Stadium, it's a must. You have to get a Dodger dog. Well, with the Marlins in town, they've put a Cuban spin on the Dodger dog. It's a hot dog with ham, Swiss, pork, mustard, and pickles. And all I can say is I'm glad they gave me a fork, and I'm glad I went to the gym. I will let you know how the Cuban dog is. I heard, though, they were so popular during this series that they actually ran out of the pork yesterday. So they're supposed to be pretty good. And I figured it's appropriate, too, because I know this was supposed to be a Jose Fernandez start. Usually you guys would do the Cuban sandwich, so we'll do the Cuban dog instead.
I think they sold out last night because it was Yasiel Puig bobblehead night.
Yeah, I can attest to the fact, saw A-Dub today channeling her inner Rocky and doing the stairs, running the stairs today. She put in a good workout.
Trying to be annoying.
Here's Lucas. And Lucas takes a strike. Lucas is lined out. 2-run homer. Singled and scored. Withrow misses outside. This game not even halfway through, and the Marlins are on top 12-0. Lucas strikes out. So Stanton comes up. He's 2 for 2 with a double, his 12th.
His first base hit extended his hitting streak. 16 consecutive games. Has that average up to 321. Continues to lead the major leagues in RBI. Jose Abreu had a pretty good day for the White Sox, but I think he's one behind in that major league lead. Abreu hit a 3-run shot. The young Cuban DH first baseman with the White Sox has 15 home runs, but 41 RBIs.
Giancarlo Stanton back home where he used to come to ball games with his father Mike. Yelich grew up 40 miles from here. He was a Dodger fan as well. So his first 2 at-bats in this series were special. Singled on the first pitch he saw, homered in the next at bat. Stanton has made this place his home throughout, and he drives one up the middle in between the shifts with Gordon over behind the bag. Stanton has 3 more hits tonight. 7 hits in this series.
He just muscles that ball. I don't think anybody else hits balls that get through the infield any faster.
Well, we know nobody in baseball hits the ball harder than Stanton. He has the 4 fastest exit speeds off the bat, and that was after we checked 2 days ago. He blasted one the other night that was right up in that range of 112 miles an hour, and that was merely a double. And one of those exit speeds was a single.
Jeff Baker always kind of displays a quiet professionalism. You see him around the clubhouse. Reed Johnson a little more animated. A couple of veterans.
Guys that have filled similar roles in their major league careers. Baker can play the infield, thus he's kind of the utility infielder, while Johnson has played all over the outfield for a variety of teams.
So tonight, hitting back-to-back in the lineup.
Two and two.
Pitch count for DeSclafani still in good shape. 4 innings, 59 pitches.
Fastball in. Counts full, 3 and 2. Yelich at second, Stanton's at first. And Baker shoots one into right field. The base hit. Puig approaches. Bags are loaded. And here comes Reed Johnson.
That's exactly what he'd been trying to do the 2 times he hit into double plays. His second hit tonight.
Coming to the plate, number 5.
A couple of times he tried to stay
Johnson.
back and he just hit balls to the second baseman. So a good approach by Baker.
Reed Johnson earlier in the night. Slow breaking ball. No problem. Just see his season numbers rising to 354.
Yeah, an example of that last swing was just shows you if you stay back on that soft tossing left-hander and think up the middle or the other way, you can react to that slow stuff.
If you're an NBA fan and you just watched the Spurs defeat Portland, welcome to Los Angeles, where Miami is clobbering the Dodgers. Bags are loaded. There's 1 out. This game is only in the top of the 5th on a night where the Marlins have a rookie making his major league debut on the mound. Former Florida Gator Anthony DeSclafani. Reed Johnson, a former Dodger, gets jammed. Withrow has it, whips it to the plate. Ellis to first, double play. And the inning ends on a double play. Withrow, a nice play coming off the mound, and the Marlins are kept off the board. To the bottom of the 5th. It's only halfway through here in Los Angeles. It's 12-0. the 10-run reel. And the official mascot of the 10-run reel, the Foxmo squirrel. Filmed on location in the wilds of Coors Field. Dodger Stadium tonight, where Miami has put 12 runs up and lead the Dodgers 12-0. Bottom of the 5th, Anthony DeSclafani, his Major League debut so far. So good. Juan Uribe will pinch hit. D. Gordon, Yasiel Puig to follow. And Uribe fouls it back. Uribe's been out of the lineup for a while. Dodgers trying to ease him back in. He had a really nice year last year. Slugged .438, a dozen homers, and had one of his best years in a long time. Remember, he was a shortstop on that White Sox World Championship team, and a postseason hero for the Giants in 2010. You can't hang him a breaking ball. He'll clobber it like he does there. Johnson picks it up. Uribe has got a double. All right, 10-run reel. It's Los Angeles, so all our Dodger memories are coming back. Our favorite dog. That's right, the skateboarding dog is back, ladies and gentlemen.
This guy's got some moves. Love it. He just can't let go either.
He's skateboarding in the parking lot at Dodger Stadium. D. Gordon now. 5 hits for the Dodgers. Gordon has one of them and a stolen base.
First extra base hit for the Dodgers tonight. The double by Uribe.
For those of you that have stayed up late, as we're past midnight on the East Coast back home, I'm sure in Gainesville there are a lot of folks watching this one to see a former Gator make his Major League debut. Anthony DeSclafani.
I know his coach up there, Kevin O'Sullivan, was going to be eyes glued and certainly proud.
.65 pitches in. Terrific pitch, breaking ball right on the inside part. It froze Gordon.
I like the call by Mathis too. He came back with the same pitch.
Yasiel Puig.
When the Marlins return home, the Phillies will be waiting on them. And on Wednesday, the 21st at 7:10, it's the next Kids Eat Free Wednesday night. Every child 12 and under. With a ticket, you'll get a coupon for a free KM Beef Frank, a bag of Frito-Lay chips, and a small Pepsi or Aquafina water. Get your tickets at Marlins.com. Yasiel Puig. Puig takes a strike. Puig has walked and lined to right. On a night where the ball definitely is jumping, and the Marlins have hit 3 home runs, and not necessarily from the usual suspects: Ed Lucas, Reed Johnson, Jeff Mathis. The Dodgers have been kept in the yard. Puig swings and misses.
The Dodgers have hit a couple of balls pretty hard. Puig hit a ball well. Crawford lined out to center field. But you got to like the way DeSclafani is mixing it up. Honed his craft a little bit in the summer of 2010, the Cape Cod League, as many college players do.
Mathis, the runner at second, out to block it. So Puig's hit streak is sitting at 13. Puig, a terrific run, a lot of damage in those games as well. Extra base hits, home runs. That one is hammered into left, and Uribe is going to come home. Puig ends up at second. The hit streak is alive, and another RBI, 31 on the year for Puig.
Might have been one of the few changeups we've seen from DeSclafani. Kind of hung it, and when you're as hot as Puig is, he was on it.
And the Ramirez now is struck out and bounced out. The West Coast trip started in San Diego. Jacob Turner had a nice start. Marlins won in extra innings, and they haven't won since. But tonight, a 12-1 lead, and a dribbler up the first baseline is fouled.
Well, there's just been so many things to be positive about tonight. Number one, the Major League debut of Anthony DeSclafani, and then the offense, the lineup that Mike Redmond put together with the left-hander Mahalam on the mound. Mathis has contributed. Reed Johnson, Baker with a couple of hits, Ed Lucas, home run. Garrett Jones with a couple of hits. Then the usual suspects, you know, Giancarlo, Yelich.
Here's the Twitter handle if you have a request for the 10-run reel. We are going to try to keep it West Coast based, and it's up to DeSclafani to keep it a 10-run lead if he wants to keep the show going. We have some vintage West Coast moments. One that I think Jack McKeon will remember. Chopper wide of third. I'm not sure Jack is still up though in North Carolina.
No, I wouldn't think so right now. He saw the lead. He knows the way a game goes, and he feels pretty good.
You think Jack has a DVR?
He might, but he might not know how to use it. Jack would say no, but I drive a Honda.
Here's the 1-2. The breaking ball misses down low. Well, DeSclafani's parents, Jim and Kathy, have to be absolutely thrilled with what they've seen tonight. Hanley lifts a high pop into right. Stanton is under it. Puig tags and bluffs. Okay, 1993. I think Jack McKeon is the GM of the Padres at this time. It's 93. It's the Murph, and it's the famous skunk on the field. Now that was okay until...
Well, if you were listening to the pregame show tonight, you heard Joe McElvain talking about the skunk that makes its home in the tarp here. And they never use the tarp. They had to use the tarp today And I'm assuming that the skunk was uprooted today.
Nobody wants any part of him.
Oh, no.
He's coming and running around here.
That's Gary Carter.
Jay Randolph and late Gary Carter calling the skunk.
And with a Joe McIlvaine reference, maybe Jack McKeon had moved on from the GM spot at that point.
Saw Joe all spring. Scouting.
So we've had skateboarding dog, skunk in the tarp.
So I sense a theme.
I don't know that we have that much animal related material. We've also burned the Exmo squirrel. Adrian Gonzalez has singled and struck out. If A.J. Burnett were anywhere near this game in any form, you could count on A.J. throwing the ball through the window of the pickup truck that was driving around the field.
Well, you can kind of tie things together, though. We talked earlier about A.J. Burnett's Major League debut here at Dodger Stadium.
You know, Leo just tweeted, here are his requests. He wants to see the Olivo-Morneau collision, the Infante slide, which is a terrific request. It's one of the best slides I've ever seen in a Major League game, and Austin Kearns crawling like a baby to first base.
Omar Infante was just placed on the disabled list today by the Kansas City Royals. Also have to see how Mike Redmond decides to play this with DeSclafani if he gets through this inning.
Swing and a miss. And DeSclafani strikes out Adrian Gonzalez for the second consecutive time. The kid gives up a run, but it's 12-1 Miami. Anthony DeSclafani have worked well together. If you can do that as an ex-Gator, and Mathis considers himself a Florida State Seminole. Scott Van Slyke is at first base, an honorary Seminole.
Yeah, Don Mattingly has emptied his bench a little bit. Sean Figgins comes in to play shortstop, so the evening is over for Adrian Gonzalez and Hanley Ramirez. And coming on to get some work because he's not been as sharp as he was last year for the Dodgers, Brian Wilson.
Now entering the game playing first base, batting ninth, number 33, Scott Van Slyke. Now pitching for the Dodgers, 0-0, Brian Wilson. Leading off the 6th inning, first
So Wilson is in.
Garrett Jones.
And Garrett Jones leads it off. What an adventurous night for Garrett Jones. In his first at bat with the infield shifted over, 3 infielders on the first base side, and the shortstop at then Hanley Ramirez out near second. Jones bunted for a base hit, and that was the start of what would be a 6-run second. The Marlins would add 6 more in the 4th. Jones would then bounce out in the 3rd. In the 4th, he doubled down the third baseline again with a shift. Now this is the fun. Watch this.
All he wanted to do was get it down on the ground, because he knew if he did that, he'd have a base hit.
And Garrett Jones walks. Brian Wilson.
Well, I was just thinking, Rich, with Brian Wilson out there, what a difference a few years ago. Blaring music, his song as he entered a game in a save situation for the Giants, and now here he is trying to get some work in a blowout game.
You give Wilson a lot of credit in getting back to the big leagues after a second Tommy John surgery. He had one at LSU, of course. Not only coming back, but coming back as a Dodger. The Giants, the team that he helped to a world championship in 2010. Sergio Romo took his place and has shined since. And Wilson probably would have preferred to come back as a Giant, but ended up being a very nice piece in that great run by the Dodgers last year.
Well, Mets and Red Sox players have become Yankees. And Brian Wilson at 32. Last couple of years a Dodger.
Who's the most significant player that played well for both the Dodgers and the Giants? I mean, I was able to see a lot of Giants history.
See, I thought you were going to go in another direction and just incorporate Mets, Yankees, Red Sox. I was thinking Johnny Damon, but Dodgers, Giants. That's a good one.
Bouncer, Wilson gets a piece of it, and he's not going to get Echeverria, who beats it out. Whether it's a hit or an error, we'll have to wait and see. All right, if you want to keep it West Coast, let's turn the clock back. This is in San Francisco. Brian Wilson against the Marlins, and this is the shoe incident.
This is also pre-beard.
It is.
And
he took a Sharpie and doctored up the cleat so he could use them, and that's before the beard.
Look at that pre-beard. That's a base hit, by the way, for Echeverria.
So an infield hit. Now remember that night he had the orange, just those shockingly orange shoes. He was told by Major League Baseball, hey, you got to clean up the act, and so he said, give me the Sharpie. He went to work.
I mean, he liked the shoes. He didn't want to get another pair of shoes, so he just did a little touch-up.
He's had to do that to the beard a lot. Mathis, 2 hits tonight in his start, including a 3-run homer. That's before.
And the next night. Crack staff reporting in, and this is back Brooklyn Dodgers, New York Giants. Sal Maglie, the barber, used to call him the barber, pitched for both.
High fly ball. Ethier there to make the catch. We don't have to answer this tonight. We can certainly lean on Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow tomorrow night.
Yeah, we could check on that.
Pitcher number 28, Anthony DeSclafani.
But tomorrow night, Rich, the Marlins Giant game, opener of that series, will not be televised.
That's right. No TV tomorrow. I feel like we should apologize, but we do televise 150 games, and other games are available nationally and on other channels. But tomorrow night's one of those games where we do not televise. Sadly, we have to spend an off night in San Francisco. Liner into center field. How about this? Anthony DeSclafani as his first major league hit, his second big league RBI. Have a night, kid.
Center fielder number 21.
Take a deep breath. He will never forget this night.
They've got the baseball. The Marlins have another run.
Think about it. The number of baseballs he can get from this game.
First strikeout.
First RBI.
First hit.
First win.
Jim and Kathy, his parents and his family that have come all the way from New Jersey to watch him make the start. I mean, they're almost numb to it now, don't you think? I mean, it's a 13-1 game. They've seen their son throw 5 innings and hold the Dodgers to just 1 run. Yelich to center. And DeSclafani
coming to the plate, third base,
an RBI single.
And I would expect Red will try to get another inning, one more inning out of DeSclafani. He's at 80 pitches right now.
We have had a variety of requests on Twitter on the 10-run reel. We welcome your input. You're part of the show as well.
I just thought of another Dodger Giant. He was not certainly and wasn't with the Dodgers very long, but Juan Marichal actually pitched for the Dodgers.
And of course, he was involved in the greatest of dust-ups between the Giants and the Dodgers. Gaylord Perry pitched for so many teams. Did he pitch for the Dodgers?
I don't think he pitched for the Dodgers. He pitched for the Padres.
Yes, he did.
And certainly the Giants.
Won his 300th game in Seattle.
Well, what a night for the hitters.
17 hits, 13 runs. Paul Maholm absorbed a lot of damage. And the Marlins have continued to swing it and swing it well against Los Angeles' bullpen here.
The Marlins have 7 hitters with 2 or more hits.
Maholm went 3 2/3, 11 hits, 10 runs. 5 of them earned. Remember, the error by Gordon was a big one. All right, requests for the 10-run reel. We've got some when we return to Los Angeles. About to, well, if the Marlins can hang on to this 12-run lead, win his Major League debut. It is a 10-run reel night. We have been taking requests, and someone requests the Omar Infante slide. It is one of the greatest slides you'll ever see. Here it was, and it was in Washington, D.C.
Yes, you deemed it the Matrix slide.
The Matrix slide. Watch this.
No, you're not going to give me the left hand. I'm going to move it and get the plate with the left hand.
And he didn't quite get it with the first reach. He got it with the second reach.
That was great.
That's the Matrix slide by Omar Infante. Aaron Charlton is our baseball historian. He's assisted by John Reynolds here in the booth at Dodger Stadium. And he's informed us that Anthony DeSclafani is the 11th pitcher in the last 40 years. DeSclafani, 11th pitcher in the last 40 years to receive 13 or more runs of support in his Major League debut. So DeSclafani, the last guy to get this type of support, Tommy, Juan Nicasio.
Oh.
That was in
a big game at Coors Field, maybe
2011. Here's Ethier. He's handled Ethier. He's 0 for 2. And he's done it against the lineup of guys that, as Preston Wilson pointed out on Marlins Live, that he probably grew up watching on all the highlight shows. I mean, a lineup that has included Hanley Ramirez, Adrian Gonzalez, Andre Ethier, Carl Crawford. I mean, playing his college ball at Florida, I'm sure he saw Hanley a lot. I'm sure he saw Crawford a lot on Ray's telecast.
You know, the thing I like too, that last fastball, 94. So he still has some good zip, and he's used the breaking ball. And I want to call it a curveball because it's not quite as hard as a slider, but either way, it's effective.
6 strikeouts now.
Left fielder number 3.
He has an out here in the 6th inning.
This one kind of backed up on him. So more of a slider there.
And here's Crawford now, who was struck out and lined out. We also talked about the interesting dynamics of the start. It's your Major League debut, but at the same time that you're called up to make the start, the ball club signs Randy Wolf to join the starting rotation. And so DeSclafani arrives. Crawford gets into that one, drives it right field and gone into Miami's bullpen.
Yeah, Crawford arrived on that breaking ball.
So the Dodgers have their second run.
Yeah, no doubter by Carl Crawford.
As you pointed out, while some may say that DeSclafani is here for just one start with Wolf jumping into the rotation, the Marlins need help in their bullpen. There's no question about that. The 7th and the 8th inning have been issues. And look who's warming up. Guy that grew up very close to Dodger Stadium, Randy Wolf. Somewhere in Philadelphia, there's 2 or 3 guys who are calling each other members of the Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack is back.
And say, hey, get the costume out of the closet. Get on a plane to Miami and let's get to his next start.
We talked about Pepperdine University the other night when Dan Herron pitched.
Turner's up. DeSclafani misses outside. Turner 2 more hits. His average against the Marlins is at an even 400. I think the sample size was 32 games.
give credit. Both you and I talked to Jeff Mathis about handling a rookie making his debut.
It's 24. Colt Nex High School in New Jersey, and he strikes out Turner. 7 strikeouts. Scott Berry and Turner discussing it.
Oh, that one's right there
at the knees. It's a
Catcher
strike.
number 17, A.J. Ellis.
Here's A.J. Ellis. Well, the return of A.J. Ellis certainly lost its luster tonight with DeSclafani and the Marlins jumping off to such a big lead. And the funny thing is that DeSclafani had roles in a couple of Marlin rallies. He hit the wicked chopper that ate up D. Gordon. Gordon got an error, but 2 runs scored on it. That was part of the 6-run second. And he knocked in a run with a single in the 6th. Echeverria on to first. And Anthony DeSclafani. If that's it, what a terrific Major League debut.
Thanks to win question of the game answer. Please direct your attention to Dodger Vision for the answer to tonight's question. Remember to play for a chance to win a $100.
Congratulated the 24-year-old in his Major League debut. He leaves with a 13-2 lead in Dodger Stadium. Anthony DeSclafani.
And you know who feels as good as anybody is Chuck, because Chuck's like a father to everybody on that pitching staff. He takes everything to heart. He works with these guys. So to see a young kid come up, throw the way DeSclafani did, is just pleasing to Chuck enormously, I guarantee.
A walk and 7 strikeouts, and you noted it from the very start. One of the things you really have to love is that he pounds the strike zone. He attacks it with 2-seamers, with 4-seamers. Jeff Mathis said that was the game plan tonight, and he followed it quite well.
Yeah, and I think as we saw him settle in, we saw him start to use his breaking ball a little bit better.
Leading off the 7th inning for the Marlins, pinch hitting number 13, Marcell Ozuna.
So Brandon League is the latest reliever to come out of the pen. Chris Perez, Chris Withrow, Brian Wilson, now League, after Paul Mulholland absorbed 3 2/3 innings, 10 runs, though only 5 of them earned. And Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, he's pinch hitting for Giancarlo, getting in the game, going to get in at bat or 2.
Stanton 3 for 3 has extended his hit streak to 16. If you've just happened by, it's the only game going in the big leagues right now. And Miami has a 13-2 lead over the Dodgers. Jose Fernandez spot in the rotation came up tonight. The Marlins have dropped 5 in a row, reeling from that news and from a poor road trip. And Ozuna swings and misses. All right, AT&T Rewind, keeping in spirit with the 10-run reel. Batting practice can be fun at Major League Parks, but we always tell fans, pay attention because you might lose your lunch. Literally. Oh. And then you go for the ball and then drop your drink.
So you lost the nachos, the drink.
Which probably would cost a lot more than a ball.
Yeah.
Baker swings and misses. Baker tonight, 2 hits. He's bounced into 2 double plays.
And I'll tell you, speaking of batting practice, Giancarlo has put on a show here for 3 days taking batting practice. He has impressed many.
Enough that a lot of Dodger people have quickly gone to double check the number of times anyone in the 53-year history of this great ballpark has hit the ball over the pavilions. Willie Stargell in right field a couple of times. Mike Piazza, and I'm missing one.
Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire, Dodgers hitting coach.
So obviously those weren't a game, but still the distance on a shot like that is tremendous, and Stanton did it numerous times during batting practice.
Everything else in baseball is long since done. Many of the, in fact, I think all the West Coast games, save this one, were early starts today. Oakland lost to the White Sox 4-2.
Yeah, that Braves-Giants game was an earlier start.
Washington, Arizona, an earlier start. 5-1. Washington beat Arizona. Tampa Bay shut out Seattle in Seattle. Jake Odorizzi getting the win. Giants hit 3 home runs and beat the Braves 10-4. Phillies lost at home to the Angels 3-0. And A.J. Burnett got the loss. We've mentioned his name a few times tonight. All right, here's batting practice from Giancarlo Stanton earlier today.
Left fielder number 5, Reed.
See, those just opposite field with ease. And that one, good catch by a fan out there.
That one had a little more height.
He makes the ballpark look like a Little League park.
And the impressive thing is, those were just his warm-up swings. He'll crank it up late in batting practice. There's a turn. No double play. Ball pops out of Van Slyke's glove at first. The batting practice that got everyone
next, first baseman,
talking
number 46, Garrett Jones.
was opening night.
See, right over in here, if you take a shot right in that area, he went over the pavilion between the big scoreboard and that State Farm sign out there. A couple of times.
Jones is 2 for 3, a double, a bunt single, walked and scored. Gordon hustles in, gets it, and gets the out. Marlins up big in Los Angeles. opening stretch. 39,000 here at Dodger Stadium. We check in with Allison Williams.
Well, Rich, with all the discussion and debate about Tommy John surgery taking place in the last few days, it's appropriate we are here in LA because it was Dodgers surgeon and team physician Dr. Frank Jobe that pioneered the career-saving surgery. He performed the first ulnar collateral ligament surgery on Tommy John back in 1974. He also performed a shoulder surgery on Earl Hershiser in 1990 that allowed him to go on to pitch 10 more years. Tommy John, of course, after having that surgery, the first ever, pitched 14 more seasons, won 164 more games. And these surgeries went on to save the careers of countless pitchers. Now, Dr. Jobe passed away in March at the age of 88, and they actually held a memorial service for him here at Dodger Stadium. Vin Scully was the MC for the memorial service, and several pitchers whose arms he operated and careers he saved spoke about the tremendous and lasting impact he has had on this game. Guys.
Thank you, Allison. And the newest Marlin, Randy Wolf, 37-year-old, out of Los Angeles, Pepperdine University, delivers the first pitch. It's fouled out of play. Speaking of Tommy John surgery, Wolf endured his second Tommy John surgery in 2012. He also had one in 2005. And a one-year contract with the Marlins today. Big breaking ball, missed down low. Wolf pitched very well for Seattle and made Seattle's starting rotation. And after he made the rotation, reportedly, Mariners management went to him and wanted to adjust the contract that they had agreed to when he first signed the deal. And that was after he had made the team. Wolf did not like that and walked away.
And Randy Wolf, no stranger to this mound here at Dodger Stadium. There is a look at a little bit of his career. Second round pick of the Phillies. First came up to the big leagues with the Phillies in 1999. But pitched on a couple of different occasions with the Dodgers. He was with the Dodgers in 07. Came back to the Dodgers after stops in San Diego and Houston in 09.
His career record at Dodger Stadium. So he didn't pitch last year after an injury-filled 2012. Coming off of that nice spring, Wolf looked for a major league contract, was able to get a contract with the Arizona Diamondbacks, went to AAA, pitched well there. The Diamondbacks didn't call him up, and he had a clause in his contract that allowed him, if somebody did offer him a major league contract, to sign and go, and it's exactly what he did. Ozuna's out in right field.
And Randy Wolf had been on the Marlins radar for a few weeks. They knew of his situation. See how he works the fastball in and out. Slow curveball, little slider. 37-year-old veteran.
As many pitchers will say after they have Tommy John surgery, they feel like breaking ball is better. Fastball may have a little more zip on it. And that's one of the things Wolf said today. He really feels his curveball is throwing it quite well.
He's always one of those guys, too, that even though he didn't have that overpowering fastball, he could throw it by guys up in the zone because he's a little sneaky with his delivery.
Baker backs up, gets the out. All-Star voting has begun, and you can participate by going to Marlins.com. If you vote the maximum 25 times, you'll get 4 tickets to a Marlins game for just $20.
Right fielder number 66,
Vote now through July 3rd. Marlins.com. The All-Star Game is on Fox July 15th from Target Field in Minneapolis. Who would have thought that as the Marlins embarked on this West Coast road trip, coming off one of the best homestands in franchise history, that they would have Anthony DeSclafani and Randy Wolf pitching in the same game?
Who would have thought on this road trip the two best outings for a starting pitcher would be from Jacob Turner and Anthony DeSclafani. Turner had that good outing in San Diego.
Turner last night had 5 very good innings and 1 very bad one. And that bad one was the 6th. And unraveled on him and the Marlins, and the Dodgers won it 7-1. Wolf's brother Jim is a major league umpire still. Bouncer. Lucas spins and gets him at first. All right, we're back into the 10-run wheel when we get back, just to celebrate the arrival of Randy Wolf.
Earlier this evening, the Dodgers' Clayton Kershaw and Chad Billingsley
in effect for a long time. It's kind of a Los Angeles theme. And remember Dodger Stadium when Dad wanted a ball, asking for the ball, and Dad, and that was fast motion. We slowed it down just to examine what Dad was calling for a ball, had his daughter in his arms, and when the ball came his way, he dropped the kid and then promptly dropped the ball. Now, the child was fine. Watch the kid actually get something, takes a swipe at Dad here.
Physically, she's fine.
And the happy ending to the story was that our Craig Minervini, who was at the game, quickly got a baseball from the Marlins dugout and walked over and handed the young girl a ball, and she was thrilled.
Which was tremendous, because psychologically it could have been very devastating to that young little girl.
No, she got the ball, and she got a ball. She smiled the rest of the night, and Dad was booed vociferously, and with good reason, from that section of fans. So there you go, a little more 10-run reel. We've got some more nuggets for you on a night where Randy Wolf has come in relief of Anthony DeSclafani. Jamie Wright is in as the parade of Dodger relievers continues.
Yeah, the Dodgers have tomorrow off, so Mattingly trying to get some guys some work.
Thought it was Solano getting an at bat. Danny Echeverria had a couple of hits tonight. Randy Wolf was scrambling to find a helmet that would fit and a bat he could use.
So if you get a regular player's bat, you have to make sure you ask.
Solano. Van Slyke makes the play, steps on the bag. AT&T fan photo, hashtag FL fan photo. It's a chance to be shown on our
catcher, number 6,
telecast. There it is. Drum roll, please. Here it is. Let's hope it's a good one. Looks like a backpacking Marlin fan. Though that did not look like a George. Maybe George took the photo. Figgins makes the catch. We rely on our crack staff and our fans all over the place. We asked the question.
And they help out, yeah.
Who was the most substantial player in terms of production for both sides that was a Giant and a Dodger as Wolf comes to the plate?
Pitcher,
And Brett
29, Randy Wolf.
sent Jeff Kent our way. Nice call by Brett.
Great call.
As a Giant, 6 years, and of course an MVP with the Giants. Kent finished his career with 4 years with the Dodgers. In his 4 years with the Dodgers, his last 4 years, he hit 75 homers. He drove in 311 runs.
I got another one to add to the list.
Let's see how Wolf is swinging the bat these days.
Pretty good hitter, Randy Wolf, in his career. 5 career home runs. How about Brett Butler? A Dodger a couple of times. And a Giant for 3 years, 88 through 90. Got a little help on that one from Matt.
So Brett and Matt helping the show out. Still a lot more requests for 10-run reel material. We do have another request coming up that we saw from our crack staff across the Twitterverse. Tyler wants to see John Buck saying Mikusuki, but we had that about 2 weeks ago.
Too early in the season for repeats.
The Amezaga play, we actually had the Amezaga play on Cinco de Mayo. That's a given.
That's an anniversary play.
A Marlin tradition. Wolf, bouncer, and Slyke flips, and right works a quick 8th inning. 13-2 Marlins.
All right, Dodger fans, it's time for Stack City, presented by
Begins with Anthony DeSclafani.
Man, we should start with a little disco music. That's what they call him. That's his nickname. He was just outstanding in his major league debut. How about Ed Lucas? How about a home run from Ed Lucas at third base tonight? His first of the year. Another in the lineup. Reed Johnson getting a start. His second home run here in this series. And Jeff Mathis has homered twice this year, once in Miami against the Dodgers and once at Dodger Stadium here tonight. So the largest run output of the year, the Marlins scoring 13 runs.
Leading up the ball in the 8th.
Game summary brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
And Randy Wolf working in his second inning. Boy, you look up and down the box score. I mentioned 7 players in the box score with 2 or more hits.
Now the Marlins have a pair of 6-run innings here, the second and the fourth. Aaron Charlton, our baseball historian, points out it's only the 3rd time in Marlins history that that's happened. The last time it happened, 1995, versus Kevin Jarvis in Cincinnati. Figgins down the line. Johnson over, picks it up. In that ball game, Miami had multiple 6-run innings. They had home runs from Terry Pendleton, Andre Dawson, and Charles Johnson. How about that? And then the other time it happened was 94 at San Diego against Andy Bennis. Jeff Conine had 2 homers. Orestes Destrade had a home run as well. Wow. Those are some great names from Marlins past. Marlins infield is shuffled with Solano at second. Jeff Baker is now at third, and Lucas is at short. There's Baker. Drew Butera is at the plate.
Yeah, there were just some tremendous numbers from DeSclafani tonight. 21 of 26 first pitch strikes. He had 8 0-2 counts. He had just 1 3-ball count, and that was the second batter of the game, Yasiel Puig.
Butera, who remains on the roster. A.J. Ellis joined the team. Miguel Olivo was sent down to Albuquerque. We've always felt that Miguel Olivo is one of the strongest men in baseball, and a lot of people agree with that. One of the requests we had was from a play long ago when Olivo first joined the Marlins. Justin Morneau is a big man. This was Twins at Marlins interleague play, and a play at the plate. Olivo is catching, and Morneau is trying to score. Olivo didn't budge. Morneau would go to the hospital with a collapsed lung.
And of course, with the new rules, we'll no longer see a play such as that.
Down goes Butera.
Because clearly there was no lane. Clearly there was no lane.
There was no lane. There was Olivo. And Morneau felt he could move him out of the way, and he was wrong. And we hope that Olivo's back in the big leagues soon. Here's Ethier now. Ethier 0 for 3. So, kids, thanks for staying up late night with the fish. Thanks for all the requests on the 10-run reel.
Some of the nice suggestions and help on the Dodger Giant combo of players.
Javier has a request. How about Miguel Cabrera's big hit in Baltimore when he was being intentionally walked versus the Orioles? That was an extra inning.
That was a fun one.
And you've got, in this ball game, a lot of oddities here. As Ethier stands at the plate with 1 out, Figgins at second. It's 13-2. Anthony DeSclafani making his Marlin debut, and Randy Wolf is making his Marlin debut. DeSclafani is 24, Wolf is 37, and it's on a day when the Marlins signed Wolf to essentially fill the starting spot in the rotation left by the injury to Jose Fernandez, and DeSclafani is called up. I don't know if you want to call it an emergency start, but it feels like it. And all the kid does is come out and keep the Dodger bats quiet.
A tremendous offensive club. Talking about contracts, I always think it's interesting. And on the team bus coming over, DeSclafani on the bus, and Mike Hill, Marlins president of baseball ops, they're talking, and Mike said, now when we get to the ballpark, we need to sit down and you have to sign the contract. He hadn't signed the official contract yet.
Liner into left. Johnson after it. Figgins round third. He'll score, and Ethier knocks in a run. So the lead is down to 10. That last request for the 10-run reel. Our production staff headed by John Sulser, Ken Lee, Jim Hawley, Tim McDermott, all working hard. And so here it is.
Had an opportunity to get a ball.
Holds the ball to center field. Here comes. Who was the announcer on helium at the time?
Had an opportunity to get a ball.
Holds it on the around third. Coming to the plate. Here's the throw. He scores.
That's like slow pitch softball.
That was an incredible night because there I believe was a rain delay. The Marlins hit back-to-back homers with 2 outs in the ninth to tie the game, and then Baltimore was trying to intentionally walk Cabrera, who drove in Hanley with what would be the game-winning run. Crawford singles to left. So it very may well be that the Marlins keep both of these pitchers around, DeSclafani and Wolf.
Well, with the need especially, and we talked about it earlier, and whether DeSclafani gets another start or moves to the bullpen, we don't know. And either or, the way he pitched tonight, he certainly earned it.
Mike Redmond's inside the park home run. One of the requests that's popped up a couple times. The Dontrelle Willis grand slam at Shea Stadium. He banged one off the scoreboard in right field. Turner takes down low. Turner doing his usual damage against Miami. Couple hits tonight. Just for Wolf personally, this has to be a really sweet moment to get back on a major league mound, coming back at his age from a second Tommy John surgery. And to get back on the mound at Dodger Stadium is extra special. This is the ballpark that he grew up around here in Los Angeles.
Well, the fact that he didn't pitch at all last year, the fact that he went and had a good spring training with the Seattle Mariners, and then went and pitched in the minor leagues.
Counts 3-1. To right, Ozuna makes the catch. All right, you wanted Dontrelle Willis in the grand slam at Shea Stadium. D-Train, one of the all-time favorite Marlins, with a bat in his hand. Look at this rocket. It was Lima time.
D-Train had that leg kick, and he fired away.
I believe that was the night that the late Jose Lima, his wife sang the national anthem.
Saw Matt Trainer, one of the runners on base. Lima time had some nice moments as a Dodger also.
A.J. Ellis. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. 13-3. It is a getaway night, but thankfully the Marlins are just headed up to San Francisco. This is a long one.
You know, the trip to LAX probably takes as long as the flight to San Francisco.
Without a doubt. But we won't take off, Tommy, until Marlins Live, brought to you by Checkers. Disco's debut, Anthony DeSclafani. Allison Williams, Preston Wilson live. And maybe they'll get Disco on the postgame.
That is the plan, Rich and Tommy. We should be able to chat with Anthony DeSclafani after his first Major League win. So be good to hear from him. He's got probably a few souvenirs from this game, wouldn't you think?
That ball was hit and then kicked. Throw down to first. And Ellis is out. Randy Wolf finishes the 8th. Big night for the Fish in L.A. That last out, we weren't sure if it was a foul tip, but in slow motion, watch. Swing and a miss, ball pops out, and Ellis kicks the ball. And so Mathis picks it up and has to throw him out. So it's essentially a strike him out, and then you have to throw him out. So it goes as a strikeout. The Dodgers have run out of relief pitchers, and we've been wondering who might be their emergency pitcher. It's Drew Butera. So Butera comes in to pitch. This is now, Tommy Hutton, you were a guy in your career that you were called upon as an emergency pitcher.
Very similar game such as this one.
And you embraced it and were excited about it. And this could go two ways. You can get lit up.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can embarrass some hitters.
Yeah, and for the hitters, it's a no-win situation. Because as a hitter, if you get a hit, but he says, well, you got it off a guy who's not a pitcher. And if he gets you out, but he goes, can you believe Butera got you out?
Anything close is a strike, I think. And with good reason. It's 13-3.
Well, he's pounding the strike zone.
Fastball up.
Yeah, he has that catcher's throwing motion, too. Oh, wait a minute. He is a catcher.
Yelich, a liner to center, an atom ball. You need some of those when you are in an emergency. And so Butera, whose fastball is topped out at 84, gets it out.
Batting next, number 59.
See, he has that throwing motion of a catcher.
Ed Lucas. Now, in Marlins history, we've seen, let's see, Cody Ross.
I think John Cangelosi did, too. I'm not sure. Cody had that nice delivery.
Cody was sore for a week.
Oh, I know. That's I can attest to that.
And afterwards said he would never do it again because he didn't think he could get that sore. And Lucas is way out in front, and he dribbles that one to second. And so on this 10-run reel night, we tried to find a Marlin pitching, a position player. How about Petey making the 10-run reel? Brian Peterson, there's an atom ball. Cameron Maben, there's a bolt to center. Petey works exclusively from the stretch. He walked to Norfia. And then Headley, a 434-foot out in the corner in the triangle.
This is the second time for Drew Butera. He pitched in a game May 20th. Minnesota, he was with the Twins. They were in Milwaukee. Boy, he dropped a breaking ball in there. And he pitched the scoreless inning.
His off-speed pitch at 74 miles an hour. Skip Schumacher, the last Dodger position player to pitch. Oh, Butera strikes out Ozuna. He cranked it up. He hit 94 on the gun, Tommy. 94. Wow. Give him the heater. Finally arrived. Randy Wolf is still on the mound. It's never too late to download the MLB.com at the ballpark mobile app. Great features throughout the year. You can check in through the app, earn free tickets. Download the free MLB.com at the ballpark app today. Scott Van Slyke against Randy Wolf. Wolf's line so far in his debut, 2 innings, 3 hits, a run. He has a couple strikeouts. Anthony DeSclafani, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts.
We talked about all the balls that DeSclafani could walk away from this game with. His first win, first quality start, first run scored, first RBI. He had 2. First hit, first home run allowed, first walk, and his first strikeout.
How about his first day of big league per diem?
Second baseman number 9, D. Gordon.
Third strikeout for Wolf. Here's D. Gordon now.
I think the one thing you have in a Randy Wolf. Oh, nice play.
Solano comes charging in from second to get a very fast D. Gordon.
You have a veteran who you know
right fielder,
generally, and I'm sure there are times he can't throw strikes, but generally he's going to go out there, mix it up, change speeds, and throw strikes. Good bare hand pick by Solano. How about this for the veteran? One more out, it'll be 3 innings for Randy Wolf, which qualifies him for a save.
Oh, wow. This is his 377th appearance, and how many saves does he have?
None.
Wow. What a weird night. And that's why Aaron Charlton is one of the best baseball historians in the business. Our statistician here in Los Angeles with help from John Reynolds.
Will we be bringing John and Aaron to San Francisco?
I'd like to.
I think they'd like to come too.
So on a night where DeSclafani can get his first major league win, Wolf can get his first major league save. This is only the 9th career relief appearance. He's an out away. He's got Puig now. A 1-2 pitch coming. Mathis kicks himself. Had he handled that, that was close to being a strike. In the hole, Lucas. Ball game, and what a ball game tonight for the Marlins, for Anthony DeSclafani.
Fans reminder: the Dodgers will return Monday, May 26th.
For everybody with the Marlins on a night where Jose Fernandez's turn comes up for the first time since he got hurt. Randy Wolf gets his first major league save. Who would have thought that the 37-year-old, battling back from his second Tommy John surgery, would come into the ballgame and get a save of all things, but he does by working 3 innings. DeSclafani in his major league debut is splendid. He gets the win, and in 3 hours and 20 minutes, a lot of fun tonight in Los Angeles. Miami wins it 13-3.